Hey guys, I'm Phil Harris.
And I'm Ashlee Harris.
We are Shred MX Conditioning, and we provide online fitness and nutrition coaching, as well as in-person riding clinics for riders and racers from local to pro.
Now, we're racers ourselves, so we'll be talking about all things moto on this channel, from motocross, fitness and nutrition, injury, prevention and maintenance, local races, amateur nationals, pro events, current happenings in the sport, and everything in between. So whether you're on the road or in the garage, turn it up and enjoy.
This is Shred MX Shop Talk. Hey guys, welcome back. We got episode 22 coming at you here with a little tech tip.
Yeah, talking about something that has a lot of controversy surrounding it. Knee
pads and knee braces.
Yeah, versus knee braces. So we'll kind of start a little bit where we started, and then kind of full, circle where we're at now with the topic. So, we've actually both wore both knee braces and knee pads.
Yes, I started at knee pads.
How long ago?
Years ago.
Yeah, like when you first started riding. Kind of like we all do when you're a little kid. You just kind of get knee pads, whatever.
Back when I rode with dinosaurs,
Yeah, old man. So let's talk about then. So you wore knee pads to start out. Same here, same thing. I mean, like I said, every little kid starts with knee pads. We both started riding when we were 5. So knee pads to start out. When did you get your first pair of knee braces?
I was on 80s, and honestly, that's right when they were like first coming around.
So like 1962?
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
Kidding. I'm kidding.
Early 2000s.
Okay.
Probably 2000, 2001 would have been my first set. Maybe 99.
So
maybe going that back. I can't remember. Somewhere in there, I think, is when they first started making them, and we bought like more or less like a used set. But I believe my first set were, I think they were CTIs actually, because I think that was the first company making them.
Okay. What led you to get your first pair? Like, why did you think you needed knee braces over pads?
It was mainly my parents' choice.
Yeah, they bought them for
put
you?
me in knee braces, yeah.
Okay. Mine was...
At a pretty young age.
Mine was actually, I think I was more on, honestly, I think a 125, if I remember. So I would have been around 13 or 14. So for me, that would have been, like late 2000s, like 08. Maybe 09. Anyway, my dad would wear them. He had the pod knee braces when they first came out.
Yep.
And he was wearing them because my dad has had notoriously bad knees for a long time. He could never run because the knee would fall out of place. Anyways, so he would wear them. Well, there was a race, and it was actually at Malvern. Rip Malvern. It's gone.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll come back. Everyone always says it'll come back. Anyways.
Track's still there, so maybe.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
There was a race for some reason he wasn't racing, and I have no idea why, but he let me wear his knee braces, probably just to try them out, honestly. I was like, I'll try them. So I did, and I wrecked, and this is kind of a funny story. I wrecked wearing his knee braces, and like someone scooped me up, was helping me walk back to the trailer. I hit my head hard enough that I didn't remember where we were parked, and in the amount of time from getting up off the track and walking back to the trailer, 3 different times I told the person who was helping me walk back to our trailer at the time, man, it's a really good thing I had those knee braces on. I have no idea why in my head it was like so important that I wore those knee braces, because like I hit my head obviously hard enough.
Your knees were protected though.
Yeah, apparently that's like what stuck out to me in that whole crash. I don't know, but anyways, I crashed in my dad's. The knee braces were fine, but I was apparently very glad. It was a good thing I had those knee braces on. So then after that, I don't know
where I'm at, but my knees work.
Right. So after that, actually I would have been about 16, because I started working one of my first jobs at Subway. I worked and made enough money, set enough money aside to buy myself my first set of pod knee braces. So I would have been 16 when I started wearing them, like full time on my own set of knee braces.
Right.
And that was just again because like they were getting pretty popular at the time. It made sense, like, to protect your knees. A lot of people had torn ACLs, but I was like, okay, like, it's like time. I'll get myself, And that was also from Kame Sports, that is also not around anymore. So,
yeah.
Showing my age there as well. But yeah, so 16 on, and I've never, knock on wood, had any type of knee issues. It's just something
Lucky.
just something that I was like, protect the knees. I need them, and need them, wore them ever since. But you said 80s, you started wearing them. And then...
Not 1980s, like riding 80s.
Yeah, I know.
And they were 80s back then. They weren't 85s yet.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Because I'm old.
Still showing your age. I rode an 82, but I also had an 85 and then an 85L. Anyway, I know when you were younger, like, you tore your ACL at some point in time, so you must have torn it in a brace.
Yeah, I did. I actually tore in my dad's backyard on the track that we had. And, I was in asterisk braces at the time.
What happened?
I was already on big bikes, and I would think I was already on a 450. I was like 16.
Phil got bumped to the A class by the AMA from a letter in the mail at 15 years old, for those of you that don't know. So he bumped to 450s pretty early.
Yeah. Like, essentially 14 turning 15 on 125s, finished, like, I was already on 125s, but finished out that year, and then that winter I got a letter to go to A class while I was still 15.
Yeah. So you probably rode a 250 while you were 15 and then got a 450 when you were 16?
250F.
Yes.
Yeah, so we rode that year, and then it was, I think over that winter when I had got the letter, we had got the first 250F, and I rode Yamahas that following year, 250Fs, so going into A class, I rode schoolboy in A class, locally. And then I rode, 250s. Yep, I was thinking, because the one year I went to Loretta's on.
The smoke is coming out of his ears,
Yeah.
guys.
On 250s, but that's because I was riding A class. I didn't want to do, or try it. I should have, but anyways, so Yamaha's, Hondas, and then the end of that year, following year, yeah. So 16, yeah, somewhere in.
Answer to my question, yes.
Sorry, roundabout. Sorry, guys, listen to this. You're like, oh my god. I was like 16 when I got my first 450.
So you were riding, obviously still wearing knee braces.
Yeah.
And you have like a decent sized track behind your dad's house where you train on and everything, and you were out there training daily.
We were, I would ride all the time. And it was just one of those later in the year. We got like a good rain overnight, and I don't remember. Oh, I think we had rode the day before, and we had like rototilted up a little bit, so it was kind of fluffed up. And we got rain overnight, and we rototilted again in the morning, so the dirt was like super prime. So like there was like a few of us riding, and the ruts formed in really good, and we had a pretty sick line going, and we were trying to help like a local buddy out that was over riding, how to like lean into the corners, and I was like, oh, I'll show you, he was sitting there, and I was like, here, watch, and I like come around for the corner, and it was like a left-hander, and it kind of like swept into another like left-hander, so it was pretty quick, and the rut was like sweet, and I hit it like wide open, and when I laid into it, like towards the end, it was like right as the exit, the corner got a little slick, and the front end tucked in, and it caught my leg, so it caught on I like dabbed it, and then I was like super late over too, dabbed it, and it ripped it backwards and like cranked it in.
How soon did you know that you tore your ACL?
I couldn't get up.
Yeah.
Initially, yeah, I couldn't like stand on my leg. I didn't really know. I was pretty young, so I didn't like put two and two together like, oh, that was an ACL.
Yeah.
But I knew something wasn't right.
Yeah.
Because it's like I felt it pop and stuff. And then I couldn't like, for a few minutes, I couldn't like hardly put any pressure on my leg.
So you tore, 16 years old, you tore your ACL in knee braces.
Yes.
I actually, and this is what everyone says knee braces do if you don't hurt your knee. I broke my femur in mine.
Yep.
The pod knee braces, actually I think the same set I had bought when I was 16. I was a senior in high school, so I would have been 17, about to turn 18. It was actually at the Can-Am at Area 51 in New York. We were up there racing, and I went out for practice, decided to go out for late practice. Don't do that. Like, oh, I just want a few more laps. There's a couple cool little like step up booters there. Like I call them booters. They're just nice flowy step ups. You jump up one, down like a pretty decent way into like, I don't know, like a valley and then jump back up the other side. Anyways, it's kind of cool. I went out and it was wet. It was practice in the morning. They always overwater, so that way the track forms nice, whatever. Well, some guy on the first one must have spun up the face of it and wrecked off of the first one, and his bike was laying sideways on top of the landing of the first one. So you jump up the first one and then again down into this like gully, valley, whatever you want to call it. It's a decent ways down there. And when I saw like a yellow flag out of the corner of my eye, and it was kind of like one of those split second decisions that like I made the wrong decision. For some reason, I still jumped it, right? I don't, yeah, probably I was just already committed for it. Maybe when they threw the flag, I don't know. I don't remember much of that day, so I don't remember the timing, especially of that. But when I got up in the air, I saw his bike on the landing, and that's where I was going to land, on his bike.
Right.
So honestly, I blacked out. I don't remember landing on the bike. I don't remember tumbling all the way down this downside, down into the valley. I woke up at the bottom and I could tell that there was something really wrong. My arm was stuck, like my wrist was stuck, my hand was stuck down because that was broken, my arm was broken. And I could tell like my leg, like it was a problem. They carried me off the track. I got the whole life flight to the hospital and everything and spent a week at Strong Memorial.
You went for a helicopter ride.
I did. Broken femur, but it was definitely from the knee braces. And that's what they say. So if something, your body has to give somewhere. So that's kind of like same thing with neck braces. If it doesn't break your neck, it breaks collarbones, whatever. That's the thing with knee braces. If your knee doesn't get injured, it's going to break your femur, or it's going to break your tib fib. I broke the femur from them. And it actually cracked the carbon fiber in the knee brace. So after I healed up or whatever, I reached out to Pod and they wanted the brace so they could study it and they sent me a new one. So cool. But I was like, I broke my femur in it, but and I have a rod and screws in there, but I'm like, man, it saved my knee. Like my bone healed, but it saved my knee. So I kept wearing them. Like I'm still wearing knee braces at this point in time when I was 16. So same for you. You tore your ACL, had it repaired.
Yep. And had it repaired, did all the rehab, was back. Well, I was back riding before they okayed me to ride. But I actually, the first night that I was like okay to get back on like a track, we went riding, of course, because I was all antsy. And so we went riding, and it was like late in the day. Had rode like most of the day, all good. Happened to dab my leg coming up, like kind of, you like turned over a single. And I dabbed my leg right at the top of it and felt it twist, and I felt it pop, and it didn't feel great, so I pulled off the track immediately, and I was kind of worried. I ended up getting in the doctor like that week or like the next week or something. It was like pretty quickly. And he checked it and stuff and like manipulated a little bit, check it. And he said the ACL was still connected, but he said I had stretched it. And I was in braces still.
Yeah.
We kind of chalked it up after that. I was still good to ride. I just had to get like a lot more strength back in my leg, which I needed to anyways from being off of it. But we had chalked up my braces were kind of getting old, so we thought it was like mainly that. Like
they get like a little sloppy after a while,
exactly.
like anything.
The joints up in them got like a little like where they bend got a little sloppy. So we were like, oh, my parents were probably like they were like, that's probably what happened. So I ended up getting a fresh set of braces. That way when I came back after I was...
And what were you wearing at that point in time? Still the Asterix?
After, like...
Yeah, your ACL.
Yeah. I was still using the Asterix, and then shortly after that we got a new set of braces. I'm not sure what they got me. I think they got me another set of CTIs.
Okay.
So Asterix was like kind of born from like some of the CTI guys, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we went back and
If you are mistaken, I'm sure someone will let you know.
Oh, I'm sure. But we went back, we went back to the CTIs for a long time.
Okay. So you've worn CTIs, Asterix.
Yeah.
What else have you
And
worn?
I've had EVS a couple times now.
Yep.
Pods.
Yep.
Mobius.
Yep. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think there's anything else. Because when I was younger, I wore CTIs for a long time. Because, like, I had a nice, like, carbon set.
Yeah.
And, like, even though I, like, kind of grew and stuff, they still always, like, fit me. And I could change the pads a little bit and they'd fit. And then one year they even stretched them for me at Loretta's. So I had them for a long time. I'd just keep rebuilding, like, the straps and whatever. But, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, always both of us, right back to knee braces, because that's what.
Knee brace guy.
Right, that's what I knew.
Harped on people that didn't wear knee braces.
Right,
and
like,
stuff.
oh my gosh, I know they're expensive, but you should get them. I've only ever worn, it was pods for the longest time, actually, until, well, when we got together, I still had my pods, wore them for a long time, and then we switched to Mobius. So I've only really ever worn pods or Mobius, which I also had the Mobius knee brace for a long time. Yeah, but again, like, no matter what, the injuries, whatever, it's always worth it to wear knee braces. And that's, most people who wear knee braces would agree with that. Like, everyone's just on the same page. Like, they protect what they need to protect. At the end of the day, you can get hurt wearing anything. The sport's dangerous. Life is dangerous, right? You can get hurt wearing them. You can get hurt without them. But recently, so this was actually last year, my Mobius braces, I was either going to have to rebuild them, but I was kind of looking to try something different, just for a little bit better fit. The Mobius braces don't have a lot of ventilation on the front of them. They're a great brace. They do what they need to do. But I was just kind of looking, like I said, I've only ever worn pod or Mobius. And you had ordered a set of the pods, and the new pods, neither one of us were a fan of. Like the channel that's supposed to go where your knee sits, essentially, like the pads that go around your knee, wasn't deep enough to touch the sides of either one of our knees.
I almost feel like I didn't have the right size, but we, like, measured them and everything, and they did not fit me correctly.
But I tried them on too, because
yeah.
I was thinking about switching, and I'm like, these don't fit me either.
Yeah, they pinched my legs real bad when I did try to wear them. I was thinking about it too. We didn't really touch on the fact that I did tear my other ACL.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Also, and those were in the Mobius braces.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where I kind of feel like, again, you can hurt yourself with or without them, but that one happened at Nap City.
Yep. Not in a corner. It's kind of crazy. I was actually riding around with you, and then you would veer off, and I'd jump the big step up there. And
wait a second. There's a big step up there, big in quotations, air quotes. It's not really that big. So the jump isn't like massive. And I
think it's like 100 feet or a little over 100 feet. So.
Yeah, I like big jumps and I like high speed jumps.
Yeah.
The problem with that one, and the reason I never jumped it, probably never will, and I always just went around it, the landing, there's like a bike length of where you can land, and it's like money.
Yeah.
If you land on top, you're decking it, and there was a bike length of you could land on top, a bike length of downside that, again, you greased it and it feels good, or you're over jumping it. And I had seen a lot of people, because there was such a small room for error there, I seen a lot of people wreck and get hurt. And like one jump, they don't race there. Like, it's not worth it to me. Like the risk versus reward, I'm like, nope, went around it.
Yeah. Honestly, too, the way the face was, it was super hard to like lob off of it to like test the face.
Yeah.
You pretty much, it was like a freestyle jump. You just came around and sent it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the landing wasn't big enough for that. It needed to be built up a lot more and a lot longer.
To be friendly.
Yeah.
It was doable, obviously. There were plenty of guys that did it.
It was doable, but...
Yeah, it wasn't friendly enough for me.
Yeah. There was like a small margin for error.
Yeah.
But I had been doing it all day. No big deal. I was actually like greasing it. And I was kind of like whipping it a little bit when you would pull over. But found out later, my wheel had like loosened up on me.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so when I went off the face, it turned just a little bit and it slowed me down. Well,
the wheel spun a little bit crooked in the swing arm. Like it's the axle came loose.
Yeah, the axle, and then one of the adjusters came loose, so it like moved in, so it slopped in the whole swing arm. As I went probably off the face, and I was like leaning into it to like whip a little bit, but the landing was like a little bit of a tabletop, but it had like at that time it had the tiniest bit of like a knuckle on the end of it. So if you landed on it, it kind of sucked. I landed on it crooked when I was trying to bring the whip back, and I knew I was shorting it. So I landed a little bit crooked, and it bounced me off funny, and I was gripping the bike tight. Somehow my leg kicked off, and as I landed again, my leg was off the bike, and I straight legged the ground.
Yeah, like stomped into the ground, basically.
Yeah, I thought I thought I blew my whole knee apart. Mm-hmm. It was like on fire and everything.
It was the weirdest thing because I watched you do it, and I kind of saw you get sketchy, but then you just kind of rode straight and like just dropped the bike. I don't remember if you fell over, but I was like, you didn't even crash. Like, what happened?
Yeah, it was terrible. It hurt so bad. It ended up just being I tore the ACL completely, and then I tore a little bit of the meniscus.
Yeah, but you also, where the two bones, your femur and your, I think tib is the bigger bone, where those two join, like where they hit together.
Yeah.
You fractured the face where they rubbed together because the bones smacked together so hard. You had an indent there. That bone was fractured.
That.
They were talking about going in there and like filling it with something.
Yeah.
But you were like, no, I don't really want to do surgery right now.
I think they were gonna like plate it.
Yeah. They wanted to fix your ACL and fix the bone.
Yeah. They wanted to see too how the bone would heal up because it was gonna be a little bit before I could get in for surgery.
Yeah.
So yeah, tore the other ACL in braces, and then I did go without fixing that ACL. I was supposed to have it done that was early in the year, in like March, I think I tore the ACL.
Yeah, and the doctor said that
I was supposed to have surgery in like October.
I think we scheduled it. We had it scheduled, and I want to say it was for October or November. And the doctor, because you were working a very physical job out at a national cemetery setting headstones, and you're like, I can't
really stop.
I can't take off right now. And he's like, oh, well, the doctor said, you'll be fine. You know, as long as you can walk on it, you just won't ride. So we were kind of like, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, got through that. Got back to riding, obviously. That's a whole kind of other story. Don't want to get too in the weeds with that. Kind of different topic. But yeah, so tore the other ACL and knee braces as well. And then got back to riding. Was still in my knee braces.
Yeah.
Still a diehard knee brace guy for a while. And then, yeah, you started needing a new set of braces towards the end of last year. And then you started talking to me about tossing around the idea of knee pads.
Before I did, though, I had reached out to multiple companies. So here's the problem. When I buy anything off the shelf, it's especially moto related, it's built for dudes. I do not have dude legs. I have thick thighs, and I'm all about thick thighs save lives. I am about it, right? I have girl legs. That's totally fine. I've got big thighs. My knees aren't that big, but and they're muscular. I'm not saying like, you know, my thighs are huge, but they're bigger than like a dude's. Like you're 5'9", and your legs are much slimmer than mine in the thighs. And I'm 5'4". So like if I order a large, extra large, the brace is way too long for my leg, but it'll fit my thighs, but it's going to be too big for my knee and too long. If I order a small medium, the straps won't go around my thigh, but it'll fit my knees and it's the correct length. So like I reached out to a couple companies and I'm like, hey, I'm just kind of, you know, looking to see if I can try anything. Like, do you have a demo pair or whatever? Like I could at least try it on my leg. I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on braces for something that's ill-fitting and not going to do its job anyway. So like I reached out to some companies, and the only thing that I could come to the conclusion of with all of these companies, and I reached out to Pod and CTI and Liet and EVS, all of these places, right? All of the big knee brace places, kind of all just led me back down to, well, you'll have to get custom knee braces. So the only place that does custom knee braces is CTI.
Or they give you a small discount to try them.
Yeah, exactly. They would give I'd have to deal with a return or whatever. But even once you wear them, so anyway, it led me down to custom CTIs, which are $2,000. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to spend $2,000 on knee braces. Yes, I get that, you know, they last a long time, but I don't have $2,000 just hanging out that I can drop on knee braces, you know, whenever. So I'm like, that's when I kind of said something to you. I was like, well, everyone keeps talking about the new Slayco pads from
Yeah.
EBS.
I wanted to touch on something real quick before we get into that on the knee braces for you guys listening to this. If you're wearing knee braces and they're not tight to the sides of your knees in that area,
Yeah, like if you can stick your fingers like in between the pad and your knee around the sides.
your knee braces are doing absolutely nothing
Yeah,
for you.
your knee can wobble in there.
Yeah. So I've seen that with people that are like, oh, I got knee braces, and they're like too big for them. If you guys can stick your fingers, they're not tight against your knees, in like especially right there in the middle where they bend, you guys are they're pointless.
Right, you're just adding. So that was my problem. Anything I tried on was like anything that I could get my hands on to try on.
Yeah, they were ill fitting, like you said. They weren't gonna do
Even like right, adding the extra pads and whatever.
what they
like,
should.
Right. So I ordered a set of the Slayco pads.
Yeah.
Could not hardly get them on my leg. So up by my thigh, the little rubbery thing that they have on the inside of the neoprene sleeve wouldn't hardly go up, and it was so dang tight on my thigh. And then the fabric was loose around my knee. I'm like, it was like baggy around my knee because I had to get the larges to fit my thigh. So I'm like, okay, well, this is uncomfortable at this point in time. This is dumb. So I think I don't know if I sent those back or sold them. Either way, got rid of those. And I was like, screw those things. So then you actually had to do a lot of research for me and hunting around to find me something.
Yeah, I ended up just finding you something that was more like a plastic guard.
Yes.
I ended up getting you some hinged. They're actually the Alpine Stars.
I think they're the SX1, if I remember correctly. That's
SX1, but they're like version 2 or something.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to commit to trying pads because, again, I broke my femur in knee braces, but knock on wood, I have really good knees. I've never had any ligament issues. My knees get sore from time to time. I've rode dirt bikes almost my whole life. Of course that happens. But, like, from a medical professional, I've never been told, like, anything's torn in there. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to give it a try. There's a lot of controversy around pads versus braces, so I'll be the guinea pig. I'm going to try.
Yeah, we did talk a lot about it, and I kind of ended up telling you that too. Like, yeah, you haven't really had too many issues, and so it was like worth a try. And for you, it's good too because like when you're on the bike, your legs are short, so like when you pick your leg up, you're pretty far from the ground. Where like I can pick my legs up in the corner, but I'm still pretty dang close to the ground, so it's pretty easy to get me all gobbled up into the ground in the bike. And
right. And when I got my knee pads, the ones that I still have right now, I figured like, okay, well, I'll try them, that's just whatever. Like I figured, you would never want to even try them or take off your braces. And that's kind of what we had talked about initially. You're like, oh, well, I'll just, I found braces that I like. You were wearing the
brand new EVSs.
Yeah.
The Web Pros or whatever they are.
Yep. So you had just gotten those and you were pretty happy with them. Again, hunting around for knee braces for you too, and I got the pads and off we went for a little bit.
Yeah. We were getting. I was kind of always like curious, but definitely, like I said, always a diehard knee brace guy. So I was like, yeah. And then with me having no ACL on one side, and then I kind of figured, even though the one had been stretched over the years, I know I've caught my leg and twisted it, and kind of felt it pop, and I've seen it swell and stuff. I kind of figure there's no
hope for you to not wear braces.
Well, that, and I figured I don't have probably an ACL in the other leg.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've really strong. Like I've gotten my muscles strong, so they kind of stay together. They don't pop out or anything weird. But yeah, at the same time, I'm like, there's no way like wearing pads, like if I wore a pad, like it's gonna take like a hard landing or anything like that, because even in my braces, like they're tight, but there was still times that I'd land hard in like a pocket or something like that, and I could feel my knee like barely like tweak or something like that, especially like riding indoors. So I was like, there's no way I'll ever switch to pads, but we figured you'd try them.
Yeah, and that's what I was like, oh, I should probably mention that. The first time I wore them, it was actually interesting how much more I could feel the bike underneath me. Like, so they're like braces have that big hinge on the inside of your knee and like padding and everything, and like you're holding onto the bike with that. But when I put pads on for a little bit there, it was actually bruising the inside of my knees because I could feel the bike so much more.
squeezing harder.
Yeah. So, I mean, same thing. Like, I still squeeze just as hard. I don't get bruises anymore. I guess maybe because my knees are used to it now. But it was like night and day difference. I was like, I actually feel really great. But I felt like I could get my leg up way better in the corners. Like, there wasn't so much weight dragging my leg down. I could get my leg up. I felt like I could move around on the bike a ton and move the bike a ton. Like, it felt like freedom. It was so weird. I just, there was so much more movability for me of myself and the bike and just how good my legs felt, that I was like after the first ride, like stoked. I was happy.
Yeah. And then like you being like so stoked on it honestly kind of started getting me intrigued, like, and got me thinking about it. And we were at PAX at that time.
This past spring now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In springtime after we had sold our house and more or less moved down there for a little bit in our toy hauler. But we were down there, and yeah, you were wearing them, stoked on them. And I was doing some riding. I was kind of curious about them.
Your EVSs, you started, the plastic started breaking a little bit on them too.
Yeah, I was still riding the Honda, and the way the EVS was, like the plastic on the inside
that covered the hinge basically.
Yeah, I kept like snagging it in like the shroud, so it was like bowing it out. It was like bending the plastic.
Yeah, and like starting to crack it.
Yeah, so I was having issues. Like, I got stuck to the bike a couple times. So I was like having issues with that, and I was a little bit bummed. But overall, they were like pretty comfy. But on top of it, I will say, like, when I was wearing knee brace all the time, like, I would get done after like a day, or sometimes I would be all right for like, 2 days of riding. But after that, I'd be like so sore, and my knees would usually swell, no matter what I did. Even if I didn't catch them in a corner, my knees would always be swollen, and for like 2 or 3 days, it'd be super hard to bend and stuff. Went through that for a while. I actually told you after a little while, I'm like, if I keep going like this, I might not be able to keep riding.
Yeah, and that's been like the past, more recently, but the past couple years, like, you've been wearing braces, and when you get done, it's like, man, my knee's swollen, man, my knee's swollen. And I always just kind of attribute it to like the injuries that you had. Like, well, it's a good thing you're wearing knee braces then, because what would it be like if you didn't? And then you're saying like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep riding. That's our life. So yeah, it was a little bit like, oh, like, I know we're getting older, but dang, already, like.
Yeah. And I would even tell you, I'm like, I don't know how guys like are doing it. Like, it was getting rough for me. So a lot of times I wouldn't really ride too often, just to try to like preserve my legs. And yeah, so it started intriguing me about wearing the pads. We were at PAX, and then
now,
funny story, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you are the type of person, when you're interested in making a change in something, Phil scours the interwebs for every article and YouTube video and all of the things he can find.
I like to do a lot
of research. And then it's like a back and forth. Like, one day he'll be like, yeah, I'm going to go this way. And then the next day he's like, no, I'm not. I'm going to go this way instead. And then like the next day we're back on like what we were 2 days ago. It's really funny. I enjoy it because like I learn a lot about the process, because you tell me all of the things that you read about, and you're like, but I don't ever like, until you've made the switch.
I'm a little crazy with it.
You are a little extreme, but I love it, because until you've like made the switch and like committed to going one direction, I'm always just like, yeah, that sounds good, yeah, that makes sense, because like I don't need to sway you one way or the other. Like, you need to make that decision, especially when it came to like the knee brace thing, because I'm like, your knees are so bad, I don't want to be like, yeah, my knees are great, you should try pads, and then you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, your funny story.
So I finally really got intrigued enough, and we were both riding one day, and I was like, I really want to try these out. I think I had done a couple sessions in my knee braces already that day, and I was like, I really want to try these. And you were riding, and I was like, I don't really have knee pads to wear. And I got thinking about it. I was like, well, I actually do. I have some, what are they? Oh, they're Fly, like mountain bike, BMX, like knee pads.
And they're like the soft ones that...
Yeah, when you get, like, if they get hit or you fall on them, they harden up real quick. So they're kind of more or less like the Travis Pastrana ones, that like the TP199s or the Slakos everyone wears. They just didn't have the shin pad on them. So I was like, screw it, slap those on, we're going to try them. And it was the wildest feeling. just because like I've rode like around in the yard and stuff, obviously like on a dirt bike without knee brace and all that stuff on, and I always felt so awkward. But it's like I had like enough of a pad on that it didn't feel like too awkward when I got out on the bike. But I kind of had the same thing like you did. Like I felt really free. Like even though like I move around a lot on the bike and everything, like I felt like I could move around so much more. And I went in the corner, I pitched like a leg up real easy and everything, and it was like super weird. Those weren't enough pad for me. They felt a little weird, but
a little naked.
yeah, it was really cool to try it, and then I did still go back and forth, and ended up trying yours out like a couple times and everything. And what really sold me was, I same thing, kind of do my own research. I took another day and I was like, I'm gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna wear pads, once knee braces, and I'm gonna back up for a second too. I'm gonna tell you guys, the first time I went on knee pads, I'm like, the first time I land off one of these big jumps, and it took me a little bit. I slowed down. I like didn't jump everything right away, and I'm like, the first time I hit one of these bigger jumps out here at PAX, I land off, I was like, my knee is giving out.
You were nervous, like really nervous
Super
about that,
nervous,
because there's
yeah.
some decent sized jumps out there.
Yeah. Knuckled a couple even, and never had a give out. Was super blown away. So jump forward. It was like a handful of days later. I was like, I'm going to test this out again. Had been kind of back in my knee braces, and you weren't riding the one day. So I was like,
working.
yeah, you were still working your other job, your corporate job.
Yeah.
But, so I was like, borrowed them from you. And I went back and forth, like I said, and I don't remember what I went out in first. Pads, maybe. And then I got back in the knee braces and went out, and I did a handful of laps in them and just really paid attention to, like, what I was feeling. Because, like, I noticed when I was in pads, I land off the jumps, and even the bigger stuff, I'm like, my legs felt good. They felt strong, which was super shocking, No ACLs, like, shouldn't seem like it should do that, but I do have a lot of strength in my legs, guys, so it's not just like magically like, oh, I have, they hold together. I have built a lot of strength for them to stay together like that. Anyway, so it weren't good, and then I noticed when I put my knee braces on, and this was what sold me. I went out in my knee braces, and I was doing a handful of laps, and I noticed when I land off the big jumps, I would feel my legs move a little bit. Almost like my knee was like tweaking a little bit in my knee braces. And I found that what I was doing was when I would land off of jumps, even though I was tight, holding the bike, all that, I was still letting my legs be like loose almost, like not like noodly loose, but like loose in my braces, where I was almost letting the brace do more of the work of holding my legs all together instead of like firing the muscles. So I noticed that like my knees were actually giving more in the braces, and then like if I catch or anything like that, it always feel like I tweaked them. So I started. I think I ended up ordering some knee pads.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I decided to make a switch. Ordered some knee pads. I've been wearing we've been wearing the Mobius X8H hybrid pads.
Yeah, and they say there's like an extension stop in there. So like my
like hyper extension stop or whatever.
My knee pads have the elastic strap, so like there's no ligament protection. The X8H supposedly has like extension stop, and the straps that go around your leg are more like solid, so they're not just going to stretch and like give. They're supposed to stop hyperextension.
Yeah, they're supposed to. I mean, it's still a knee pad, so it's only going to do so much for you, obviously, especially in the instance that you're that far, bent in the leg.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had ordered those and started riding in them, and was actually finding that I was feeling better in them, and then I could go days of riding and still I wasn't getting swollen knees. I wasn't having a hard time walking. I could ride 2-3 days in a row and be fine. bend my leg, and touch my heel to my butt. Full, like, range of motion. So no big deal at all. So super excited there when I made that switch, and that it made such a difference. Because, like we said, didn't really even think it was even a possibility for me. Shoot.
A couple times
I
too,
had
like
something
that's okay. A couple times too, like you still caught your leg. Or,
Oh, that's what I wanted to point out.
yeah, and like any of the problems you would have previously in braces, like after you would catch a leg or like dab a foot or something, you'd be like, oh God, it's gonna be swollen and sore for like days. Like you haven't had that.
Yeah, I could catch it a little bit and like tweak it back or whatever, and it wouldn't even have to be too major. But I would always come off track, like I caught my leg, like it's gonna be swollen tonight when we're done. Like, just deal with it, but it's gonna be swollen. Now it's like, yeah, I can catch my leg and I feel like it lets it. It's not great. Like, I mean, I've tweaked it a little bit, and they have been swollen, but overall, most of the time that I've caught it, it's let it just move naturally and come right back, and I'm fine. Like, it doesn't hurt at all. Still no swollen, knee at the end of the day. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Now, one important thing that I want to point out here is, like, you had even said this, so we had to go pick you up a set of just straight up pads last night, which we'll talk about in a sec. But one thing, and I was like, oh, this is a topic that is like overdue, that we need to do a podcast on. But you were like, yeah, but I don't want people to listen to us talking and think that, it's us telling them to try knee pads, and then they try knee pads and go out and get hurt. So this is the point where I want to point out how much focus you have placed on strengthening your legs. So it's not like you just had ACL tears and, whatever, don't take care of yourself, and just, your legs have strengthened themselves.
Yeah, threw knee pads on, and now we have
Now
the
you're
best
great.
legs ever.
Right, like you're working out, you're doing strength training, you're moving a lot on your feet, you're cycling, all of these things, and that's what should be done. So talking about knee injuries in the first place, whether you decide to have it fixed or not is totally on you, and really is up to, like, and my thoughts, my ideas, what you plan on doing. If you plan on riding dirt bikes after you tear an ACL, if you can walk on it, I'm an advocate for not fixing it, because if you fix it, now you're worried about re-tearing it. That doesn't mean don't fix it and just go right back to riding. My suggestion is always, if you injure yourself like that and you choose not to go the surgical route to fix it, take the time to strengthen all of the muscles, especially the knees. If you strengthen all of the muscles around that joint, get your legs really strong, your glutes really strong, calves, your hamstrings, your quads, that will support the knee joint in most cases. I'm not a doctor. I'm a personal trainer and a corrective exercise specialist, and married to a man who has what we believe is neither ACL and rides dirt bikes. That is our experience.
Yeah.
You cannot...
Trash can knees.
Yeah, you can't expect your knees, if you're not doing anything to strengthen them, to hold up to not wearing braces. If you go from braces to pads and your legs are noodles.
Yeah, it's never going to work for you.
You have to put in the work every day. But the thing was, you were doing that, and then in your braces, you were still having issues. So it's almost like, God, like you said, I'm not going to be able to ride forever. Like,
yeah, at that point, I was like, that was the other reason I was like open to trying the pads. It was like, might as well do something at this point. And for me, yeah, like, I know my knees are pretty toast. So that was the other thing I wasn't afraid of, was I didn't really have an ACL to tear being in pads.
right.
Not to be, like, funny about it, but I mean,
But
it is the honest to God truth.
Right.
It's something I didn't have to worry about. So, like, if you guys are in, listen to this, you're in knee braces, if you thought about it, give it a try. Like, obviously there's always that possibility. But if you're in knee braces and you're listening to this and you're like thinking about it because we're talking about it, but you're like super comfy in your knee braces and you have full confidence in them and everything, like, I would say stay there.
Right. The reason we switched is because there was a reason for both of us. Reasons were different. My reason was different than yours, but we both became uncomfortable in the knee braces and wanted to give the pads a try.
Yeah. And then, but I also wanted to touch on the other end of it, and I've seen this talked, this has been a big debate in the moto world the last handful of years. But I did want to say, on the side of knee braces, if you guys are out riding and you're in your knee braces and every time you're on the bike you feel super clunky in those things. I mean, they feel clunky just walking around in them, I know that. But, like, if you're on the bike and you always feel clunky in them and, like, you don't have overly the greatest control, I would honestly say switch to pads because you're probably going to be safer because you're going to feel looser but be able to hold on to the bike better because you're not going to have
so much bulk.
Yeah, in between you and the bike.
Yeah, and I think what helps a lot too, so like for your legs, for example, and my legs are strong. I've worked out for a long time now. I've, strong legs, so my knees are good. Again, knock on wood, I haven't had issues. You can have issues either way. But anyway, with your legs, taking the brace off and just wearing a pad now allows your leg to move the way it wants to move. Versus,
I'm actually, like, using my stabilizer muscles and all that.
Yeah, and your legs are becoming stronger because of it. They're feeling better because of it.
Yeah, my knee health is amazing now. Like, I am rarely ever sore throughout, my day-to-day. Even when I do, like, a heavy workout or something, where I've done, like, a lot of leg stuff, my knees are still good the day after. And I've even noticed, speaking of working out, like, from wearing pads and getting my stabilizer muscles and all the muscles afire more, I'm sure, while I'm riding now, because I have to use my leg. There's no bracing there. When I do any type of, like, balance workouts or anything like that, I'm very stable on my feet now.
And that took a while.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like even, like, my ankles are getting stronger and everything.
So I agree, and I've watched you go through it. I've watched you go through the, oh crap, I'm not going to be able to ride till I get this fixed, and then deciding not to have surgery because you're like, I'm improving. Why would I set myself back now 6 months when I'm already feeling better and already riding again right after you tore your other ACL?
Yeah, I had been by the time surgery rolled around, I was supposed to have, I was riding and racing and all that stuff again.
Yeah, and I mean, you had a little bit of weakness still, but you were working on it. But I guess, like, that
It was getting increasingly better, though, and I could see, like, just strengthening the muscles was making it, increasingly easier to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And even things that they said I wouldn't be able to do. And a big reason I kind of, like, did that is because when I tore the first one and it fixed, and then I dabbed it and stretched it, they told me that the only thing I could do outside of, like, obviously going through surgery all over again, putting a new, like, ligament and stuff in there, was to just strengthen the muscles, get all the muscle strength around it. That's what was going to stabilize it.
Protect it.
Yeah, protect it and stabilize it. That's what the doctors told me. Well, I thought about it in the same instance that, well, sure, it's blown out, but, well, it's kind of almost like it's loose. It's not holding itself. Well, what's going to hold it? All the muscle. So I, worked my...
What year was that you tore that?
21.
So, because I
worked my butt off.
Yeah.
To get those muscles strong.
That's what I was going to say though. That was right around, so it never ceases to amaze me, by the way, what the body is capable of. Like, what your body can overcome and push through and, like, relearn, right? But that was right around the time that I was really digging into the fitness side of things and learning corrective exercise. And, like, this sounds dumb, but I was very excited to get to help you push through that and see, like, you were kind of like a test dummy. Like, can we, strengthen it using corrective exercise? Can I help you to the point that...
Yeah, it was before Shred was born.
Yeah, like, can I help you to the point that you don't need surgery? And I was just learning, like, all of the personal training stuff, corrective exercise, like, in hopes of doing something with it one day. But you literally were my test dummy. And I tried to help you as best as I could, and, like,
I'm not good at tests, but I am a dummy.
I'll stop it. But, trying to help you figure out what you could do to strengthen it, see how it actually worked, how the body reacted, all of those types of things. And you put in the work. You were disciplined enough to keep doing it, and you saw the progress, and you were like, okay, like, this is working. And then again, fast forward 4 years to wearing knee pads.
Yeah.
Like the body is literally amazing.
Even a year ago, you would have told me I was wearing knee pads. I would have laughed in your face.
Yeah, I said that to you last night. So the Mobius X8H hybrid pads, they have rivets in it. They're brand new, so they're still working out some kinks. The rivets rusted out. So we had to go to a local dealership, shout out Throw Point.
I break everything.
And you do break everything.
I broke the plastic in between like the hinge, too.
Yeah, so you're like, oh, what am I going to do for this weekend? I'm like, I don't know, let's go look at Throw Point. You found, it's funny, because you were looking
I
at
was going to buy like
$100 pair of knee pads, basically.
Yeah, like a higher end brand, like, no, I can't throw any names out there. But anyways, higher end brand, and they were like over $100. I got a little bit of a discount
Still
up
a
there,
knee
but
pad.
yeah, it was still like, it was a hinge knee pad or whatever, but still, at the end of the day, it's a friggin' knee pad.
I walked around the corner and saw like the super old school. It's just a knee cup with the shin guard, 2 elastic straps, and
At like the bottom of your leg, and then the knee cap part's like a little bit loose. It's loose or whatever up top.
Right. I'm like, Phil, like these are over here, and you said that you thought I was joking, but I was like, they're all just knee pads. These are way cheaper. They were $30.
Yeah, I got to look at it. I was like, oh, sick. I was like, yeah, might as well, at least for now, something to wear.
Yeah, they're kind of like a backup pair, but yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say too, Mobius is replacing your X8Hs again because they want, and this is the second time they've replaced one of them, because they want to do research and figure out how to make them better, right? So they stand behind their products. That's awesome. Shout out Mobius. Thank you guys.
They're a really comfortable pad too.
Yeah.
I like them a lot, but yeah, I've just tore them up, but I wear them a lot, and I am not easy on anything, so.
Yeah, that's the hybrid pad.
But yeah, I bought some like old school. They're just EVS ones, but
yeah, $30
$30 knee cups.
But
old school, but
that's what I said to you. I was like, man, a year ago, can you imagine that we'd be at Throw Point buying $30 knee pads for you to wear?
No way.
No, you would have thought I lost my mind if I would have told you that a year ago.
Definitely.
So just kind of funny, like the evolution of our knee brace versus knee pad thought process in only the last year, for both of us, really, because like you said, we, like both of us, diehard knee brace people. We both got hurt in them. I broke my femur in one, which is a known, well, if you don't hurt your knee, you're going to break your femur in it. Yep, did that, just still kept wearing them because that's what.
I've tore up my knees in them. You broke your femur in them, like.
Yeah. Been sore in them, like they're hard to walk around in the track at. That's the other thing that I think is kind of cool. You said now too, like you're more likely to like want to go up to the fence and watch, whether it's our friends or whatever racing, because it's not a pain to walk up there in knee braces.
No. And like, yeah, even with boots on all day, I'll walk around. Even practice days, I'm more keen to walk around and like take videos of you and stuff, and talk to friends, walk over. With braces, after like riding a bunch and stuff, my legs would get tired trying to walk around that much. So most of the time I would hang out at the band. But now, yeah, moving around, and it is cool too. So on the Mobius pads, there's one strap at the bottom of your leg, and then up top there's like a Y strap. And the way it is that all sits above like the bend in your knee, but they sit there really well and they don't move. So I found that I can roll around in like slides or like tennis shoes or something like that too in between motos if I want to pop my boots off, and they don't move at all. But yeah, they're super lightweight. And then on top of it, I love like when I'm riding, I don't get like hardly any leg fatigue throughout a whole day of motos or anything like that. And like getting in the corners and getting my foot up is like, it's not even like a thought. Like before it was kind of like would be effort with like knee braces and everything on. Now it's so much lighter. It's easy for me to get my leg up because I get pretty leaned into the corners. And honestly, I catch my feet like way less now.
Probably because your leg is held up higher.
Yeah, it's easy to keep my leg up. So I'm catching them less now too. So that makes it even nicer.
Yeah. Also, how long does it take you to get ready now?
Oh shoot, it used to take me a while. Now it can be like 15 minutes till we're on the track, and I'm like, all right, no big deal, and I'm ready in like probably less than 10 minutes and rolling down there to ride. So
yeah,
it's pretty sweet. I love it. And I like it too because I'm a big fan of, if I have time, I'll take my gear off it like when we're racing. So with the knee pads, yeah, I can take it off and it can be like a moto or two before I'm supposed to go to staging, and I can be like, all right, hold on, throw them on, throw pants on,
Ready to
we're
go.
ready to go.
Yeah, and I will say again, like this isn't to say that we're telling you that you should switch or shouldn't switch. Like my dad and my stepmom Kelly, they both still race, and my dad's had a total knee replacement. He will probably wear braces forever, and I wouldn't try to convince them otherwise. Like you have to be like kind of ready yourself. I just really wanted to share our experience and share kind of how your legs were feeling. That way, if others feel the same, you know, and they like you go on and do all of the research and have to find all the information, like
Here's some more.
right, just a little bit more information from, you know, two different racers, different abilities, different knee issues. One knee has knee issues, one doesn't, like between you and me. And but yeah, just I feel like it's helpful because there's others in our situation that might be questioning the same thing. Like it's hard when you just know something is like that's what you're supposed to do. And that was the same with neck braces a while ago, you know, like everyone had neck braces and then they are almost obsolete now.
Yeah, you got a handful of people still wearing them, but
Not many. But again, like it's totally personal preference. That's just our experience. But I will say, like at this point in time, I don't have any intentions to start wearing braces again. I like not having to spend that much money on them, and I like not having that weight on my legs or like that chunkiness between my legs and my bike.
yeah, I don't see myself going back. There's
Not like you can tear an ACL.
no. And if you guys are listening to this and you're kind of on the fence, you know, if you're in braces and you're kind of on the fence at trying pads, like do it, try it out. It's worth it. You might feel a lot better too. Hard to say, but if you do try them, anything happens, don't hold us accountable. You know, we're just giving you guys, you know, our honest opinion about what we felt through them, how we feel riding in them now, and all that. Like I said, I don't see myself going back to braces anytime soon. The more I've like looked at it and thought about it, honestly, in braces, like as tight as you have to have braces and everything to work, when you do catch your leg, like in anything twists, well, it stops that twisting motion, but something has to give. So, yeah, typically in a twisting motion, you're not going to break bones, but a lot of times that's where I feel like you're seeing the ACL tears all the time and everything else, because the body's not being able to naturally move the way it should.
The tib fib will actually spiral fracture from a twisting motion.
No,
If
yeah.
you grab the bottom with a brace on, if you grab the bottom, like your toe, let's say, and yanked it sideways, your tib fib will spiral fracture. I know that because my father did it in knee braces.
Oh yeah, that's
in a
right.
rut.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
So.
Your bones will break from a twist.
Uh-huh.
Something, like you said, something has to give somewhere. And that's not to say that in pads that you still can't hurt yourself. You can, you will.
Oh yeah, you're gonna
It'll
hurt
happen.
yourself. And when I was doing a lot of that research, one of the things that I seen a couple times that were, you know, kind of words from some doctors too, from other people doing research I had read, was that regardless of what you're wearing, nothing is gonna completely stop a soft tissue damage.
Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to bring up. Correct. That's absolutely true. So since you do have, you know, I'm sure I do too, but we know you have soft tissue damage. We do take, like, in addition to strength training, making sure the muscles around the joint are strong, there are a couple supplements you can take to help support your soft tissues. So that's going to be your tendons, your ligaments, your muscles, all of those things. One of which is collagen protein, a high quality collagen protein from multiple sources. We get ours from Amazon. If you're interested in which one we take, message me. I'll send you a link to it.
Yep, we do unflavored in our coffee.
Yep, makes it easy to get it in every day. And then Phil also takes, I don't take it again because like I haven't really had a need for it, glucosamine and chondroitin. And it's just a supplement, again, another one I get from Amazon, just because it's easy to find there, that supports joints.
Yeah, and it helps a ton. You'll have to, if you guys get it and take it, give yourself about handful of weeks to a month, and then
Yeah, you just say about a month.
you'll start to notice it. Yeah, I've noticed a difference.
So it's funny.
Obviously, I still get aches and pains. Like, it isn't going to stop all that. But overall, yeah, like, I feel I stay a lot looser on top of, when I am riding and everything.
Right, and it's funny because that actually is helpful for people who don't ride. I'm helping your mom right now too. Like she's doing workouts and nutrition and everything, and she said that with the weather getting cold, she's like, my joints are hurting. I can tell the cold's coming. Is there anything you'd recommend? And that's the first thing I recommended to her. And about a month after taking it, she's like, I can really feel the difference. And I feel like that is a combination of her exercising and the joint supplements and the eating better and all of it. But she's noticing a difference too. So it's helpful even if, you're not like racing all the time or riding all the time like we are, but just aging and your joints are hurting. It's worth looking into. But like I said, we're always open to questions, comments, whatever. If you guys want to know what those supplements are, let me know. We're not affiliated with the companies, like the brands, so I'm not going to share them here. But I'll send you a link just so you know which ones we're taking. I only take supplements from clean sources. I do a lot of research in what we take. There was a company we were taking protein from previous to Rhino Power. That after I kind of got hip to ingredients and nutrition labels, I started looking at their ingredients list and was really disappointed. So we switched to Rhino Power, but Rhino Power doesn't do collagen protein or the glucosamine and chondroitin. So,
unfortunately.
I know. I keep telling them they need to at least do collagen protein.
I know. That would be so cool if they would.
Yeah, like that's the whole moto package. Come
Yeah.
on. Us old people need joint supplements. Yeah.
Yeah, keep those joints going.
Right. So, anyways, but yeah, this one's been a little overdue. Definitely good to have like months of experience. Even Loretta's for both of us in knee pads with zero issues, and Loretta's track is rough.
Yeah, 20-minute motos
So
on rough track
yeah,
was golden.
that's about the best test you're gonna get. Yeah. So, anyways. Questions, comments, thoughts, ideas, send them our way. However is easiest to get a hold of us. We're happy to answer them and chat back about things. But yeah, that's just kind of our thoughts on it.
Yeah, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this Shred MX tech tip, and thanks for listening.
Yeah. See you guys soon.
See ya.